I don't have much to say. I uninstalled YouTube and Instagram last night for good. I don't want to come back. I don't think I'm ever coming back. The posting's not going to stop, obviously. I am going to still be posting as much as I can. The good thing is that I'm about to reach day 30 for my public speaking challenge, and I did not have a goal. I did not decide on a goal as to how long I wanted to do this for, but day 30 seems to be a good place to leave it at. I'm not saying that I'm discontinuing posting, but I think it'll be not every day because I definitely feel burned out. YouTube is actually the main place where I want to spend time because I just have this really amazing relationship, and this is how I want it to be. Of course, short form content is helpful when you want to grow as a creator or an influencer, but I don't want to be none of those things. I just wanted to improve my public speaking skills, which I will be doing here as well. I think I will just not put that many cuts, so whatever you see is just extremely authentic, and you might also see me pause, repeat stuff. That's how I'm gonna learn. I love long form content. That's probably the only way to heal our really distorted attention spans. I don't want to live in a world where a 15-second reel is what satisfies us, but a 15-minute video feels like watching a film. I have always been a long form content person, so that's what I'm gonna stick to. I just don't like Instagram. That's the bottom line. I don't like it. I don't hate it necessarily, but I don't like it either. So I don't have much to say on Instagram. It's, again, as I mentioned, it's a good way to grow, but I don't really care about growing. I don't really care about getting recognized. So I think I will slowly figure it out, but not going to be on social media anymore. It's just better for my mental health. I remember this quote that I read in the 5 a.m. Club, if I'm correct. It was by either Abraham Lincoln or some Frederick person. I think that guy was a scientist. I don't know. But it basically said success is not an act, it's a habit. Or success is not an act, but a habit. Did not think much of it when I read it first. It made sense to me in a way that I agree, but I don't really know how do I agree because I understand what it means, but at the same time I don't. Until I realized what it meant. Because to me, the first thought that struck me when I read it was that success is absolutely an act. Because I was thinking along the lines of success is an action. However, when I truly understood it, I think a couple of days ago, I realized that success is not an act, it is a habit. Because what the person is trying to convey through that quote is that it's not something you do once, it's something you do repeatedly. That is what leads to success. You don't do something once and then you call yourself successful because you're not used to that identity yet. A repetition of the same action is going to lead to success. It's going to, in fact, guarantee success. That is something I stand by, and probably also a hill that I'm willing to die on. Truly, consistency is the basis of life. Without consistency, we are nothing. Without our habits, we are nothing. Humans are habitual creatures. We can't live without routines. I think in the 5 a.m. Club only, I read this one thing as well, that we are able to multitask easily. However, we're not supposed to multitask. That is what leads us to feel overstimulated. We are supposed to do one thing at a time. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. But we cannot put too much on our plates because that is how we get overwhelmed. So make good choices and do not make a choice. Do not just make the choice once. Keep making that similar choice every single time you get the opportunity because that's how you're going to change. And give yourself grace, give yourself that compassion. Don't say that, oh, I'm giving myself compassion and grace. Act on it. Genuinely give yourself grace. When times are hard, when life feels hard, remind yourself that life is tough, but so am I. in those moments, being judgmental and non compassionate seems quite illogical to me, because how can you scold yourself or punish yourself or blame yourself for being a certain way, for the automaticity? A simple example that I can think of is that all you've ever eaten is junk food, and now you're starting your health journey and you're eating clean. But of course, you feel those urges to eat junk food every day. Your mouth salivates at the sight of a pizza or even a thought of a pizza, and you are just here sitting and cursing yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm just so fed up, and why do I keep salivating? Why do I think about these things like that? And in those moments, you have to remember that I did what I did. I cannot go back in time or go in the future. All I have is right now. So I did what I did. So I should forgive myself for that, because if I am the one who's not forgiving myself, how can I expect anybody else to do that? I have to be my own companion first, because I'm all I have. If I am the one who's behaving with myself this way, how can I expect any other person or any other situation to respect me or to forgive me or to love me? I have to be compassionate towards myself first. This is my own life. And if I punish myself, if my own self talk is so toxic, then how will I ever expect anyone else to give me those words of affirmations? Not that that will ever satisfy me, because again, it boils down to the same thing. You will never feel loved by another person, or you will never feel satisfied in another situation unless you are okay with yourself. Because I have spoken of this before and it has happened to me as well. You will find a way to sabotage that person, that relationship, that opportunity, because you are not okay with yourself. For you, it feels like too good to be true. And that is why it is important for you to first cultivate that love within yourself. Fill your own cup. Be unconditionally forgiving, unconditionally compassionate, unconditionally loving, and unconditionally non judgmental. You deserve that, at least for yourself. So remember that there will be times where things will be uncomfortable. There will be times when you will feel irritated, you will feel frustrated. But in those moments, you have to remember, I know I'm doing my best, and I know that life has been this way for me, but it's not like that anymore, because I'm taking action in the way that I want, and I'm consistently taking action. So I know I will ultimately achieve success. I don't have to punish myself for the choices that I made before. I need to be forgiving of my own self. So that's all I want to leave you with. If it helps, it helps. And it sure as hell helped me. Maybe one day if I watch this back, I will just feel extremely grateful that I talked about this. Bye bye.